9:50. 20 minutes is a long time. Always stealing my shot.
Katie Bales, you are now official. Tell us what happened today.
Pull-ups and kettlebell swings.
Oh, welcome to the club.
All right, guys.
Thanks for the camo memo, guys.
Zach didn't get the memo on the new camo shirts. So sorry, Zach. Hopefully you did, and you bought all of them. Okay. Friday, what's today? The 10th?
Yes.
December 10th. Here's our question.
February 10th.
Did I say December? Guys, it's been a rough fucking month. I got nothing to say. It's been rough. Okay, awesome. So, Allison Brown. We're not gonna say her. Allison Brown is her new name. To the team, are there any realities about coaching that you have had to adjust to? So this is everybody gonna answer this? Or let everybody answer it. You go.
Just one?
No, well, everybody will say what they want for this one.
I think it's just adapting to different personalities and finding a different way of teaching for everyone. Some people are visual learners, some people are, need to actually feel the movement. So I think that's just adapting quickly. We only have 60 minutes, so quick.
I learned very quickly with the help of Angelo that not every single person wants to be a complete competitive CrossFitter like I did, and wants to just be fit and healthy, and that is totally fine. So I had to adjust sometimes my expectations, that people weren't completely killing themselves for every rep, like crazy people do sometimes when they compete. So that is my own insecurities. And so I have learned to, understand people's different abilities levels and, what they want to get out of it, because some people just want to be fit and healthy. Most people just want to be fit and healthy. So that was...
Zach, go.
My biggest thing was
Fit and
that
healthy.
I needed to remember that regardless of how hectic, busy, sad, happy my day was, that you guys deserve everything to make the experience the best. So my biggest thing that I've worked on and gotten better at, I think, and still work on every day, is making sure that my mood when I come in front of you guys at the whiteboard is 100%.
All right, my turn. Allison, it's so funny you asked, you of all the people asked this question. There's a reality that I've really had a hard time adjusting to. It's having athletes showing up at 9:02 with a big bag of stuff and not being ready for class, and then me adjusting to thinking about what they were doing before, and then can't help but think that they were just dilly-dallying before class. I'm not pinning anyone out, Allison. I'm just trying to think about some of the hardships that I've gone through as a coach. Not to you, Allison Brown Donlin, specifically. All right, Kim. What are you passionate about other than CrossFit? Zach, you start.
My education.
Becca.
Cooking.
Rocio.
Eating.
I just decided that last week that I'm going to teach myself how to play the piano from YouTube. So I'm passionate about playing YouTube piano. Diane, I would hate to think that you guys are like me. We're human, full of yourselves and perfect in every way. So what is your biggest insecurity? I don't know why I'm looking at my computer. What is your biggest insecurity or the one thing you would change about yourself? I'll go. I don't care. I don't know about biggest insecurity. One thing I would change about myself is sometimes this entrepreneur life is a gift and a curse because it comes with really, really high highs and then really, really low lows, at least from my experience. So, I don't know, that's a lie. I wouldn't change that, but just sometimes I wish that that wasn't a part of the game, or at least how I played the game. So that's something I have an insecurity about or struggle with, is like, I'll just want to just sit around and write on my walls for hours. Rocio?
I don't think it's an insecurity, but I wish I was a little bit more musically inclined. that I could like play something or sing really, really well. What are you saying?
No, we're talking not about you. See, that's an
What the
insecurity.
hell?
She thinks that everybody's always
So
talking about her.
rude.
We just revealed Rocio's true
I'm
insecurity.
talking
Not that
very
she can't play
rude.
can't play the tambourine. The problem is she thinks we're always talking about her.
Or that I can't play scales.
Go.
Sorry.
I mean, I'll be completely honest. I've always had body image issues, and I've been working on them personally. But I hate what I look at in the mirror every day, and I'm like I'm a lot of other females out there. So that's a personal battle that I've been working on. I'm very hard on myself and critiquing of myself. So it's all relative. Everyone has their own issues, but I've always struggled with that since I was middle school.
Zach?
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good and I would call her.
That's what I wish. How perfect is that?
In all actuality, my biggest insecurity that I have right now is seeing the potential in myself that other people see around me, because I have a very hard time at looking at myself with a positive image. So, trying to find that.
All right, Lisa asked, I complete 3 classes a week, usually on the same days of each week. Am I going to get the most benefit of the program by working out on the same days of each week? I'll take this one. One, I think unless you have some other focuses in your training, you should work out at CrossFit more than 3 days a week. I think in the very beginning, it's something good to get your feet wet, but I think first is like, if you're whatever kind of benefit you're looking for that CrossFit can provide, I think doing 4 to 5 days per week of training, as long as your schedule allows you and you're not doing something other kind of fitness, is a good way to go. By doing it the same 3 days a week, yeah, I mean, I think what we've done too is we've realized that some people are on schedules very similar to that, and we've done adjustments in the cycles to accommodate where we're switching things around. So I do think that there is a benefit. Obviously, benefit is a very gray area, because that could be anybody could define what they think a benefit or success is. But I think definitely for somebody, an athlete who's been with us as long as you have, I would consider going up to 4 to 5 days a week and seeing how that feels. Okay, George Dana, question for Angelo. How do you and why did you come up with the current programming? Have any other members asked what the programming was before the current format? Alright, so at one time, and this was most CrossFits, I mean, it's changed over the years, there was only one workout of the day for like everybody. And I started to realize, this was like maybe, 2012, like that people had different desires and goals that I could help them reach, and maybe not necessarily through just doing what people consider general CrossFit stuff, like doing snatches and things like that. So I got some learning on some different procedures and strength and conditioning protocols, and we made the other groups that have been really successful for us. And I think now I think it's more common, but at one time it definitely, I think it still does, but it definitely set us apart because other people didn't do it. So I hope that answers your question. Amanda, Becca, you're going to take this one first. If you could live anywhere else besides Chicago, where would it be and why?
I've always wanted to live in Denver, because it is not at all. It's beautiful.
We don't drive
you can
Teslas,
have a warm climate in the city. You can have cold climate in the mountains. It's very active. They have really great food. And when I've been there, I love the place. So I would probably pick Denver.
Zach.
Seattle, Washington, real fast. What was wrong with that?
It's just depressing as
It just
fuck.
reminds
Isn't
me of
it the most
Twilight.
depressing? Yeah.
Are you going to work at Amazon?
Vampires.
Yes. For starters, I love vampires. Secondly,
Are you going to catch fish?
gonna catch fish and throw them at other people. No, I had the pleasure of visiting my brother who went to the University of Washington for college for about a week out of the year, every year, and fell in love with the city. Just because of the landscape, there's a ton of mountains and hills everywhere. Pretty straightforward.
I'm gonna live in Southern California within the next 5 years. So I don't hope it. I'm going to live by the Pacific Ocean, and I'm never gonna wear a jacket. That's what I want to do. Rocio?
I've only been to California maybe once or twice, but I haven't really scoped out any other places. But I have always wanted to live in California because it just seems like you can always find somewhere with perfect weather. It's not too swampy, it's not dry heat like frickin' Texas. So somewhere in California, just don't know where.
All right, Jen, to all the coaches, do you take rest days? How many rest days per week? How do you convince yourself to take a rest day? What are your rest days like? Could you do active recovery such as light jog, swim, cycle, or yoga on rest days and still call it a rest day?
Buzzword.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. All right, so what I want every coach to do is you guys talk about if you take rest days, and then I'll go through mine and then the rest of the questions, okay?
Okay.
Ro, you go first.
Yes to rest days, and I like to do hot power fusion. I love it. It's recovery. It makes me feel like I'm walking on clouds when I leave there. So I like it. I try to do it once a week. But.
Beck.
When I was training competitively and now even, I take one full rest day where I do not do anything. And I take one day where I may do active recovery. I love running, so when it's warm out, I run. We bought bikes this summer, I go biking. Something that's not weight training of any sort.
I do, I guess you could say 2 rest days, Thursday, Sunday. Sunday I try not to do anything. If I do at all, I'll either get into like a steam room or sauna at the most. And then Thursdays I'll go swimming or do some assault bike or run if possible. So like an active recovery day and then a just relaxed day.
I don't have anything completely planned. If I wake up and my body doesn't feel good, I honor my body and I don't do shit. And I wish more people, if you're not training for a competitive sport, I think you should spend more time listening and honoring your body than not. I think there's a fine line between having to do something and having an addiction. And so there's not much to gain if you're working out and you're feeling like crap and you're not going to perform well. I think it comes down to quality. I think more people should take full rest days where they don't do anything. I think rest really means rest. I think you should sleep more. I think you should eat more calories, and I think that is what you should do to yourselves. I don't think it's something you need to convince yourself of. I look at it as if you want your body to perform at a high level, you need to take time off. And also, there's so many benefits to cell generation, your nervous system, things like that. For a lot of us, we don't realize that stress at work or at home or in our personal relationships and back squatting a heavy single are all the same response to your body. I hope people really just soak that in. Your body doesn't really know the difference. And so stress is stress. And so I think taking complete rest days is so important because of all the outside influences besides your training. So if you were in the incubator all day and didn't do anything and then only trained and had no outside influences, then I would understand if you maybe didn't want to take a rest day. But if you have all these other things going on, lack of sleep, problems at home, challenges with work, your eating might not be dialed in, all those things, that's all like extra stresses on your body that giving a full rest day helps you remove, at least, or bring a little bit back to. So I hope that answers your question. So Jen, that means this Sunday, sleep in and don't do shit. Eat some casein cake. These were great questions this week, guys. You guys really brought the heat with this one. Shout out to Amanda for not asking us about some silly food shit. Keep it coming. See you guys next week.